Hi guys, it's Leah and welcome back to my channel. As you can already tell from the title, today we're going to be reviewing The Crimes of Grindelwald, Part 2 to the Fantastic Beasts series. You guys know that this dropped last night, so of course, I went to see it. So before we get started with that review, I just want to give a big thank you to you guys for all of the love and support on my Detective Pikachu trailer. If you guys haven't given that a watch, make sure to do so. I really appreciate it. And I also want to give a little thank you for helping me reach my goal of 1,400 subscribers. I thank you all so much. It means the world to me, and I can't wait to reach the next milestone. So let's get started talking about The Crimes of Grindelwald. So I want to get out of the way first that if you guys haven't guessed already, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I know a lot of the content on my channel is not actually directed towards Harry Potter, but it's actually really funny because the whole reason why I started my channel was to be a but a mainly Harry Potter channel. But I just found that I had a lot more to talk about. Just because I have a love of so much stuff, but enough about me. Anyway. I love the Wizarding World and everything like that. So when I found out that they were going to go back in time and tell, Newt's story, I was obsessed. I love the first Fantastic Beasts, and I just want to say that I did really enjoy The Crimes of Grindelwald. That being said, I feel like I always have a ... There were some issues. So this video is going to mainly contain huge spoilers at the end of the video. Still, I'm going to be talking about the film, so if you haven't seen it yet, you've been warned. This film definitely, you usually expect, obviously, it's number 2 out of a 5-part film series that's coming to us. You always expect the first film to kind of be a lot of exposition, setting up the world and the characters, etc. But you usually expect the second film to pick off and gain that momentum that was there at the end of the first film. This film, I felt, dragged or lagged a little bit in that area. I feel like, and I know that they are setting up for a much bigger thing, but you only have 3 films left. So once again, this film kind of felt like it was the first one. Like they spent an immeasurable amount of time introducing and explaining and re-explaining and retelling, and which was actually kind of great because the person I went with hadn't seen the first one, so they were all worried, and I was like, you're fine. I'm just as confused as you are in the beginning with the introduction of all of these characters. No, but that kind of dragged a little bit. That being said, we are getting into the moment in the franchise where we are starting to connect things that are in canon and connect things that we already know about from the Wizarding World, like the Harry Potter series that we grew up with and love. So it is very exciting to start to see those little things here and there, some of them more subtle than others. I think I will do an Easter egg video though, in case you guys missed some of the things in there. Super awesome to be able to recognize. I definitely think that Newt, or the character, developed a lot more, and they showed a side of him, of course, that took us back to Hogwarts that was very important for the film, and it actually had a lot of remnants to when they did flashbacks of not only Harry's parent, like James Potter and his friends, but also Snape and Lily and their story. So they kind of did that with Newt and, what's her name, Lita, or something like that, Lita Lestrange. They did that with them, and I think that was very important. It was really great to see, especially, young Dumbledore, which I was trying to do the math in the theater because it's kind of weird. Okay, he's supposed to be in his 50s, I guess. He would have to be, even though Jude Law portraying Dumbledore looks so much younger, but he would have to be at least in his 50s. Honestly, guys, if I had a nickel for every time my camera died in the middle of me ranting about something, but I guess it's trying to tell me that I should stop and get to the point, because this will be a 5-hour-long video. So now we're going to move into kind of big spoiler territory, which I'm very salty about one thing. But we're going to talk about the good thing first. I love Nagini, and the explanation of Nagini and how she became Nagini. So I absolutely am obsessed with that, and I actually really enjoy it. Moving on, I am very annoyed. If you guys have seen this, you know at the end of the film, the whole thing, it's kind of remnants of, you guessed it, Rey from Star Wars. Who are my parents? I must know. I need to know. Snoke is the only one that knows. Like, literally, this is literally what happened. Like, Credence was like the reincarnate of the same issue that Lucasfilm had. Lucasfilm decided to go a different route with it, which I feel like this film should have done. Lucasfilm realized that in that expansive world, they didn't need to make it so small and connect everybody and make everybody related. And, you know, everybody was always speculating, like, who's Rey's parents? Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, you guys know it was fun to speculate that, but if it actually happened in theaters and they tried to come up with this non-canon backstory, that everyone would have been pissed. So, yeah, I'm a little mad. They decided that they were going to take Credence, and at the end, they were going to be like, ah-ha-ha, you are Dumbledore's long-lost brother, which is not in canon because Dumbledore has 2 siblings, Ariana and Aberforth, and now we're going to make up Aurelius, and you know, I did like the explanation of the Phoenixes when they explained it earlier in the film. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. A Phoenix always comes to a Dumbledore need, and that's how Fawkes came along. And then that moment when Grindelwald showed Credence that he had a Phoenix, I almost audibly screamed in the theater because before the words came out of his mouth, I knew what he was going to say, and I was like, why are they doing this? Makes absolutely no sense. Credence is like 19 years old. Dumbledore is like 50-something. Like, I don't know, guys. Like, it just really irritates me. I feel like they could have just left it, like, with Rey. Like, well, I mean, Rey, they were like, oh, it turns out your parents were actually nobodies. But they could have kept that with Credence. Like, he still could have been an Obscurial. We didn't need to connect him to Dumbledore like that. I know that Grindelwald's going to try to use him to defeat Dumbledore, but we already know that Dumbledore defeats Grindelwald. Like, that's already written. That's already canon. Like, we already know that. So I don't know why, like, they needed to make him related to Dumbledore. Like, that just, like, in my mind, crosses so many canon boundaries and actually really, really irritates me because it's, like, inconsistent and it just, like, even though they're saying, like, oh, we didn't know about him. That's how he fits in. You didn't know. So even when it clearly stated that Dumbledore had 2 siblings, we obviously didn't know about this long-lost one. I still don't like it, guys. I don't know. It just really irritates me. And I'm just so irritated by it, honestly. Like, I don't know. I understand that, like, if the Wizarding World wasn't there and these were standalones, then I wouldn't really care, and I'd be like, oh, that's great. But there's just so many implications that really irritate me with it, and the whole reason why I loved that they were going back in time to show the backstories, because after the whole cursed child thing, I was like, I don't want you guys to make up things that aren't I don't know. I'm going to stop myself while I'm ahead. I did enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoyed all the magic. It was jam-packed with magic, and I love Newt, and I love seeing the Fantastic Beasts and the way they're portrayed. I think they did an even better job, if you guys can imagine, than in the first film. So do not get me wrong. I liked this movie. I'm a fan of this movie. I'm not a fan of what they're doing. Like, and I hope they reveal in the next one that Grindelwald's like, oh, he's just kidding. Like, I just did that so that you would think that you were somehow related to Dumbledore, and I made up his name, Aurelius, and, like, yeah, so that you would try to kill him anyway. I hope that that's what it is. Because Grindelwald is so conniving. Like, please let it be that. Okay, before this video gets any longer, make sure you like and give the thumbs up. Please, please, please share it if you agree with anything that I said at all. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.